Good day or good evening, whatever time it is at the time you're watching this video. Hi everyone. The energy that is tapping in currently as I was setting up to record is talking about, okay, so they've said, I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit and I know some shit. And it's stuff that cannot really be taken out into, the general public. Yes, I got that. Thank you. They were like, that's the card right there. Okay, so to this energy that's tapping in, let's take a breath for a moment. Yes, you have seen some stuff. And yes, we are talking about spiritual things here, not necessarily things that you've seen in the physical and the flesh. And yet, oddly enough, I feel like it might have something to do with that as well. Perhaps with how your guides are using the environment around you to speak to you. But yeah, these are things that can't really be taken to the general public because people are people and they're going to think that you are nuts or have you committed or something like that. And so to this energy, you have found a safe space because I too have seen some shit. So let's go ahead and tap in. You had requested that I use these cards. These are the Feral Psychic Oracle cards. We're going to go ahead and tap in, and I'm going to try to calm this energy down a little bit because there's a little bit of like panic behind it as well. And kind of like a feeling of if you don't find someone to tell all this shit to, it's going to just kind of bubble up inside, and it's just like something that you can't really keep to yourself. Like there's an itch there to get it out somehow. So we're going to go ahead and do that for you today. We got 3 cards out here right now from the oracles that you had requested. Let's go ahead and see what came through. There's also something about bats as well, which is why I used this cloth. You were talking about bats, and also guano, which I find kind of funny because of what you said. I seen some shit, and guano is bat shit. All right. Anyways, you are very funny too. I'll go ahead and say that. You're very funny. All right. Right out the kicker here, we've got false knowledge. Beautiful Panther spirit. Just because you've always believed it doesn't mean it's true. And this is kind of that vibe of that shit that you've seen, that stuff that you've noticed recently, especially recently. It goes on to say, what if what you know is actually what you were conditioned to believe? And I think this has something to do with the energy that's coming through at this time. It's like the more you tap in and the more awakened you become, the more the wool that's trying to be pulled over everybody's eyes is coming to light for you. And I think that's what that angst is there, where you're like, man, I gotta tell somebody, I gotta tell somebody, and someone's gonna know what I'm talking about. But I can't just go out there and just like, go to my 9 to 5 and start talking all this stuff, because they're literally gonna have me committed. The wool is not, the wool is still there on their eyes, so to speak. So yes, I totally understand where you're coming from here. The falsity that has been going on in this dimension, on this planet, has been going on for a very, 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 very long time. And there's lots of things that have been used to condition a falsity and a false reality. And these are some things that you have literally been shown and awakened to. And this is spirit coming through for you. You were tapping into spirit, I'm being told, and you have been waiting for some kind of confirmation that no, you are not going crazy, you are not insane, that this is actually what is happening. And what you are being shown as far as the real truth goes, it's blowing the falsity out of the water for you. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. We have ego driven. Ego will fight to keep you small by pretending you're above everyone else. When being right matters more than being real, your evolution stalls. This is definitely the energy that is being battled here. And this like false narrative of the ego mind trying to be in competition with everyone around it, you know, if that makes sense. And this is what this kind of falsity is revolving around here, too. The fact that they're using this like facade as the right thing and creating something that is not real, you know, just to kind of serve themselves in the long run. Now we have smoke signal. This is exactly kind of what you're trying to do here. You're sending out smoke signals, and you want to enlighten people on this kind of like false dark reality that's being casted. And there's a little bit of a hesitancy for fear of what these people are going to think. It says something subtle is trying to get your attention. Well, it's becoming not so subtle anymore, right? This is why you're kind of hitting the panic button here. It says don't wait for the full fire to believe it is real. Okay? So what you're being asked of here is to not, don't wait for everything to completely ignite and combust and explode, right? Before believing that what you are being let in on here is real. Spirit is saying, don't wait for shit to really hit the fan, in other words. Don't wait for that in order for you to feel as if it is the prime time to start sharing information, is the gist that I'm getting here with that smoke signal card coming out. And you have been receiving lots of smoke signals. And you have this urge to kind of give your care over and to kind of gently and softly start sharing this kind of information, because you know that the more that you subtly reveal through what you know, the more people are going to wake up, is what I'm feeling with this. And so the key here in this angst that you're feeling, as far as what you've seen and what you've been, I keep hearing let in on. You've been let in on the secrets. You've been let in on the real truth. You have, the falsehood has been exposed here. And this isn't something that you want to use in competition with anyone else either. This is you wanting to bring the real truth forward once and for all. And so with this smoke signal card coming out as well, this is spirit letting you know that you can bring this, outwards to the people around you, but it has to be done very subtly and not explosive, just little things here and there that you can kind of add in to make people kind of switch up their thinking a little bit. And that's all it's really going to take. After all, this is where it started for you as well, I'm hearing. And Spirit is bringing this in for a reminder to you that it's because of what you had been enlightened to by certain individuals that you came in contact with that just subtly switched up your mentee and was able to get you into the thinking process and to kind of peel back the wool from your eyes. And there is that part of the ego that wants to try to keep you small because the ego is very protective, right? And so that's where this hesitancy is also coming in from, and worrying about what others are going to think if you were to share this wisdom that you have here, this truth. And so here comes the ego mind saying that's not going to be safe. We're going to just dampen the light and we're just going to fly under the radar so that we can remain protected, so that we, don't look like the crazy one. And this in itself is a falsity that needs to be let go of there. There's also a concern, there's a big concern for safety as well, and I completely understand that. You are communicating with me now about the missing scientists and the people that have been working on things in the nature of technology that is used for like anti-gravity, like, I don't want to say too much here. But I think, if you found this video, you know that I know that you know, and I know what you're talking about here, and I understand the concern for safety here. And there's ways of being able to kind of shine the light without completely giving yourself away, so to speak. And this is a very, very fine dance that needs to be mastered. And I completely understand. The fear and the logic behind it. But as long as a certain kind of subtlety is adhered to, I feel as if things are going to begin to reveal themselves as well. And the more people like us bring in our subtle knowledge, the more this can kind of get the ball rolling, I guess I could say it that way. There's a certain situation, though, that happened very recently for you that really kind of puts you in a tailspin. And it's something that happened that, you can no longer begin to, like, you can't make up excuses. You can't, what's that word I'm looking for? You can't debunk it, okay? So perhaps you are a type of energy that really works to debunk situations and find, not really, excuse isn't a very good word, but find reasoning for things happening. And I feel like there was something that happened that is just kind of very, for lack of a better term, it seemed very magical. It seemed very otherworldly. It was something that was kind of like an interaction between the physical and the spiritual. And it's something that is very undeniable for you, but it's very hard to explain to the average Joe, so to speak. And this happening is kind of the catalyst for this energy of like, man, I'm seeing some shit and I'm being let known some truths here, and it's really, really hard for me to keep quiet about it anymore, is that feeling. I was drawn to pull some tarot and see if we can get a little bit more information as to what exactly this most recent situation was for you. No surprise, we have the Ace of Swords, and that's that truth coming forward at the time when this happened. It's like exposure to truth that you didn't even know existed or didn't even know it had like a place in this reality, is what I'm picking up on here. And there's this kind of like combative energy that it puts you in too. And, you know, it's like when this happened, I'm hearing when this happened, you literally put up all your boundaries, and you just like, you almost like hold yourself off in like a spiritual fortress. You're like, hold on, I need to step away and I need to put all the walls up around me right now while I process this. This is what I'm hearing, what happened when this situation occurred for you. It's like that vibe of getting spooked by something and then like running away to your safe haven and then like thinking about it and then getting curious about it after thinking it through, right? Am I hitting on that? Am I hitting on that correctly? It was like there's this feeling of getting really spooked and being like, oh my God, okay, I need to remove myself from this situation just for now. And then when the quiet came, you were able to sit with it. Then you started getting really curious about it. And so you started kind of like slowly creeping back towards it. I know, this is interesting. And there's like this curiosity that really started unfolding for you. And so you started like, okay, reaching out a little bit and being like, okay, well, what was this? And then you're like, you know, you tap into it, and then you get more light shown, and then you're like, whoa, okay, hold on, I got to think about that for a minute. And so it's like this cycle of like, whoa, and oh, maybe I'm a little curious about that. Let's go ahead and look further into it. These are things, these things that are being shown to you, this stuff that you have been seeing lately, it's all adding to your tool shed here. Okay? This is all part of the alchemy that is you. And you're going to be able to eventually utilize all of this in a constructive way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we also have the Nine of Pentacles that came out with the Magician. So this is definitely not really something to be afraid of. And you understand that at this point. I strongly feel that you understand that. It's not something to be completely afraid of. And once you start maybe dabbling into sharing what you know, you're going to see that these truths can be utilized. And it's going to bring you into this appreciation instead of an egotistical kind of fear that's trying to push it away. And I'm hearing that you even had this moment of, okay, I think I've gone in a little too deep. Maybe I should just completely turn around. And that's what this energy is here too. Maybe I should just completely drop it and turn around and go back. But there is no going back. That's the thing. Once you come into this energy, there is no going. You can't just close the door and go back. You know, after coming into this truth, coming into knowing, coming into awakening to things. And I feel like Spirit is coming through with more nuggets here about the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles, and the fact that what you know and what you've seen is going to be utilized to better your own life as well. And there's a focus here that Spirit wants you to do in those regards, and to take all of this and see it as something that is going to help you personally as well. And kind of taking away the focus of, oh my God, I have to share this with everybody because everybody needs to know this. Because not everybody does. And you're being shown these things for a very specific reason. You are the one that is in the knowing of these things for a very big reason, and that is something between you and your own soul, and it's for you to be able to cultivate your garden with, so to speak. Let's go ahead and see what these other two cards are that came out. We've got the Five of Wands and the Four of Wands. So this battle that you're having in your own self right now with all of this, it's going to end up turning into a victory in the end. This conflict, this like combative energy, you're being asked to kind of utilize that with the Magician here. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like using the angst, using, the fact that you know things as something that is more empowering to you rather than worrying you about how it's going to make you look to people that are outside of you, basically. And once this kind of changes within your mentee, all of this combative, like boundaries up, like, feeling unsafe, feeling like you're going to be sent away to the loony bin, all of those things will begin to start falling away, and you're going to reach this point where you're confident, holding the fact that you know what you know, and holding it within your heart, and holding it within your own space, and achieving your own personal victory in that regard. I'm just going to say that all of this might seem very new to you as well. Perhaps you had a big awakening with your psychic abilities. Perhaps you've had a big awakening with your spiritual self and integration of your soul, and perhaps even telepathy as well, I'm hearing. And Spirit just wants you to know that this, what you're being shown here, your gifts, your abilities, are coming in because of the work that you have done. And not everybody out there is ready for that. Everybody's on their own path. But when you start coming into these things, it does tend to make one feel a bit alone. And I completely can relate to that as well. And so I truly feel that Spirit has brought your energy to me today to do a reading for you to confirm these things that you are going through, and to let you know that you really are not alone, and that I personally, me, Sarah, understand that it is very hard to come into knowing about things and feeling like you want to tell people things, but knowing that the things that you are being shown are supposed to be for you. Okay? And when you get out into the world with these kind of abilities, you will start to get to a point where you can put your feelers out and really get a feel for who is safe, who is a safe space to indulge information in, and who is not. So there will be some clarity as well that is going to come to when to be in this energy and when to be in this energy, right? If that makes sense. So this isn't all going to just go away. It's going to be a tool. It's going to let you know when it is not safe to share and when it is safe to share. I hope that makes sense to you. And so from a personal standpoint, setting everything aside and coming in as a comrade in this situation, I myself, the person, the 3D person of Sara, also known as Sarai in the spirit realms, I come and let you know that you are definitely not alone. I can completely vibe with the feelings that you're feeling, and to not fear what you are being shown, what you are being enlightened to, and utilizing, really utilize your senses and your feelers when it comes to communicating with other people, because your intuition will never steer you wrong. You'll get little pings. You'll be let known if it's okay to continue pushing the envelope or if you need to pull back and not, continue sharing, so to speak. I hope that all makes sense to you. But I thank you so very much for tapping in with your energy, and I thank the collective as well for allowing the space for this message to come through in this day. With that, I'm feeling the energy lift, and that lets me know that the reading is complete. And so I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all so much once again. And until next time, we love you. Bye.